Salutations, daydreamers and stargazers. If you clicked on this video, that means, baby, you have found my spaceship. As a means of paying homage to the beautiful women of color who've come before me, I go by Josephine. Now, before we catch fly past the stratosphere and settle somewhere amongst the stars, just a gentle reminder, please be kind to the other passengers. What does that mean? That means kick your shoes off at the threshold. Don't be plopping your little dirty souls and malcontent all up and through the comment section is all I'm saying. You do not have to be BFFs. Just keep it cute. With that being said, come on in, y'all. Come on in. Now, for you frequent flyers, y'all know where you sit. Your little name tag is where it's at, and it has always been. You know, you got a little cubby with your little shoes in there. And for you first-time flyers, come on in. You are welcome here. We do have celestial flip-flops, some galactic chocolates, and some sofa slides upon request for your needs. All right. Before we really dive deep into our flight, before we really catch this flight, I do want to address the elephant in the room, y'all. I have been gone for 3 weeks. 3 whole weeks. As to what I learned clearly in this refresher course that I just went through. All right. It is okay for you to help, to volunteer your time, to make a difference in this world. Okay. I feel like that's just a mark of you and your humanity and your morality coinciding with each other. Okay. I never want to ever tell someone, don't help if you're feeling inclined to. All right. Do that. Do that. I think that's a wonderful thing. Comma. What I am saying, though, is make sure you're being mindful of your limitations. Period. Grammarly, don't come for me. LOL. What do I mean by that? Sometimes we have all of the good intentions in the world. We see a problem, we want to fix a problem. And sometimes it takes you 3 weeks to bounce back from that lapse of judgment. Okay, y'all, like I told you, I ain't gonna dive too deep. It is my business, but not my business to tell. The moral of this story is it really a story or more of a nugget or more like wisdom? I don't know. Do what you can, but set boundaries. Okay? And if your help or the assistance that you're providing is starting to hinder or compromise your ability to function the way you need to function, baby, it's time to cut it out. Okay? And that's with love and grace. Sometimes you gotta find a way, but you need to find a way. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get settled in. You good over there? Y'all all settled in? You got your little seatbelts on. I see little toesies wiggling in your little celestial footwear, your little space footwear. So let's go ahead and hop in my way back to my first ever field trip. Yeah. Let's do this. Okay. So, I'm going to preface this story by saying, to this day, this will be one of the most traumatic adolescent youth experiences I have ever had in a school setting. And it was brought on by yours truly. Like, this is one of the most, I can't say that actually, because I am just accident/embarrassment prone. This is the start of some of the most embarrassing moments of my life in a school setting. Anyway, so let's get started. All right. So, first field trip ever. And what brought on this memory, so preface before we actually get into it, because I'm really trying to work myself up. Just like with the peanut butter story, like I have to work myself up because it's like the first degree embarrassment is literally on the cusp. All right. Anyway, so moving on. I'm outside parlaying with my homegirl, right? We're chopping up about whatever we're chopping up about. And ironically enough, we're talking about just being a kid, talking about, you know, what we've observed as parents and then compared to how our parents were type conversations, yeah. And while we're standing outside, parlaying, you know, kids sleep, it's nap time, a meeky fleeky locust just jumps out of nowhere, all right, out of the ether and lands literally at my toes. And you know, I had some open toe like sandals on. And the thing about locusts are they are so unfazed. They are so unfazed and unhinged. They just don't care. My personal experience with them, right? So, and that's what brought on this memory of this time in my life, because I didn't realize that here it is, dang near 20 something years later, almost 30 years later, I am still affected and accosted by these animals. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so here we are. Unfazed. I even tried to shoot it with my foot and it climbed on my girl. Pressed, panini, folding chair, all the above. Huh. Anyway, so getting back to the actual story. That was the preface. So, this is my first field trip. I'm excited. And my attention span was like this big. Literal Dory. Dory with 2 puffballs. So, you know how field trips are, y'all. They send home the information weeks before, and then every week up until the field trip, they remind you of it. You know, you sign the forms, and then, you know, days before they remind you, hey, make sure you do da-da-da-da. They run down a list of all the things that you'll need, any special requirements, you know, make sure you pack a lunch, like all of the above, right? So, of course, me being me, I'm like, yeah, cool, we're about to go on a field trip. I'm excited. And at this time, when they told me nature reserve, I had no point of reference to what that meant. And as an adult, when you realize that at one point in time you've experienced something for the first time, this is one of those situations. There were just words to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're older now, so to experience something new is a big deal, in my opinion. It's a big deal. If I experience something new at my big age, I'm thoroughly impressed by it. And heaven forbid it's not something traumatic, like, or life altering, etc., etc., etc. But if ever it gets to that point, then anyway, we ain't gotta talk about it. Back to the story at hand, yeah. So, you know, my mom, being my mom, she's just like, do you know what you need? I'm like, yeah, they told us we need to make sure we have a packed lunch and blah, 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 blah. Just one ear out the other. She's asking me all these serious questions, and I'm just like, in one ear and out the other. All I know is we're going on a field trip. I'm going to have a packed lunch. We're getting on a school bus, and we're going to some place called a nature reserve. No point of reference of what to expect. Now, mind you, I'm also going to preface by saying the teachers told us, when you go on this field trip, you need a couple things. You need to make sure you have on long sleeves, pants, socks, long socks, and closed-toe shoes. And then with your lunch, make sure you pack enough for a lunch and a snack. These were the things that were told to us. And me, and my ways, I heard, we're going on a field trip. I need to pack a lunch. And we're going to be walking. That's it. Like, I didn't hear nothing else. I can't even tell you what I was thinking. So fast forward to the day of. I woke up late because for whatever reason I couldn't sleep the night before. I was excited. So I woke up late and I didn't, or my mom was waking me up and I just kept sneaking and getting back in the bed. Sorry, I had to hack up along. A series of events later, I ended up being late. I ended up making my mom later than she usually is. So I did not have time to eat breakfast. And by the time we got to the school, I had a little bit of time. Because, you know, usually at the school, they have like breakfast available and blah, blah, blah. Well, whatever the case may be, your girl didn't really have breakfast. Okay. And my mom made lunch for me. And, you know, she put like healthy stuff in there, but it was really just like sandwich, one of them little flimsy bag of chips, a big ass apple, and then like one of them little bitty juices, you know, the one you poke the hole and then like a pouch. I ate everything and just left a big ass apple, right? You know, we're supposed to wear, you know, long sleeves, socks, you know, the whole shebang. What did baby Josie wear? I had on a like sleeveless shirt with the overalls. Like they were shorts. They were overall shorts and some Mickey Fleeky sandals on. Yep. I thought I was so cute having my little pigtails in, you know what I'm saying? And my mom asked, she was like, do you have to wear anything in particular when you go on the field trip? And I'm like, no, mommy, this is okay. Sorry, I had to bring it closer. And I'm like, no, mommy, it's okay. She was like, okay, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, mommy, no, it's fine. It was not fine. Let's just speed past and just I'm gonna let you know. I'm just gonna let you know it was not fine. So we get there, you know, they're telling us all the ins and outs, and the chaperones and the teachers, they're, you know, counting everybody down. And of course, you know, me and my little brown bag with my big ass apple in it, I'm not thinking too much of it. I'm not thinking too much of what is to come or what's in store for me. So they separated us into groups, and each group starts at a different part of the reserve. You know, some of us go on the nature trail first. Some of us go to the rock and sediment section. They had a section where they were, you know, weaving baskets out of like hay or whatever the heck it was. There was a section where we but like observe some of the animals that they caught for the day so we can like see them. I don't know how humane that was, but whatever. And then, you know, they had like a couple other setups. Guess what group I was in? First. You guessed it. I am in the group that goes on the trail first. So while we're talking, the guy, Mr. Dundee, is like, all right, we're going to go on a nature walk. I hope everyone has their long socks on and their pants and their long sleeve shirts, because it's a lot of thorns and a lot of forestation and vegetables. Literally, it was terrible. Y'all, I got so cut up. If it wasn't for those little prickly things, there was all kinds of thorns and bushes and sharp ass leaves and animals that were biting me. Like, I got ate up, cut up, scratched up, and then I fell in a sticky bushel of dangerous vegetation. Like literally when I tell y'all I got effed up. And this is literally the first event of the day. So by the time, and I got lost. So not only because I'm so accosted that I'm just in here like trying to not get cut up and ate up, that I lose my group. Now, mind you, chaperone, why the hell was you not paying attention to me in particular? But whatever, we don't have to talk about it. So when I finally made it out of the wilderness, literally, I could see in the distance my group, and we're going from like place to place to place. Now, mind you, at this point, 30 minutes into the field trip, and we're there all day. Okay, we're there for like 6.5 hours easy. So first 30 minutes, I'm cut up. Chest, arms, thighs, legs, knees, toes, in between the toes. Like I'm fucked up and I'm bleeding, right? And I fell behind, so I'm running, step into some dung of some sort. I'm too far gone to worry about it, so I'm running. And then from there on out, it's just a series of unfortunate events. Each one of the events, I'm just like, I'm out of it. Because I'm just trying to catch up, you know. So while everyone finished making their little hay baskets and stuff, I'm sitting here just trying to catch my breath and like scrape the dung off my shoes. Because, you know, I had the little jelly sandals on. And, you know, maybe start my weave thing. They're like, oh, you'll come back to it later. Little did I know we were going to do each of these activities twice. So that means I had to go through the wilderness for a second time after lunch. It was terrible. It was a shorter trail, and they took us to something, but I can't even tell you what, because I was so far gone by the time that we made it there. So anyway, so we go through, I'm looking at the sediment, they're showing me all these rocks and shit and dirt clumps, and I didn't have my fill, right? Fast forward, somehow I lose my group again. And because I kept losing my group, I was like in between groups. So while I'm trying to finish one activity, my group had already left and they're on their way to the other whatever activity, and the next group is coming. So they're like kind of pushing me out like, nah, you need to go, girl. You ain't with us. We about to start. So your girl felt no love. Okay. I felt unwanted by both sections. And at this point in the game, I'm low-key the new girl at the school. Like, this is my first year here. I don't know nobody for real. So everybody has friends already. And I don't know nobody for real. So I'm just this strange girl with the poof balls who all cut up wearing overalls and jellies is really what it is. That's really what it is. Anyway, so fast forward to lunchtime. Everyone got their lunch boxes out. Now, mind you, everybody got these dope ass like 2 and 3 layer lunch boxes. You zip it and unzip it and zip it, and they got all these coolers and da in there. I had a brown paper bag with a big ass apple in it. That's it. I done been jacked up for hours. I'm starving. I'm thirsty. They don't have no water fountains, and if they did, I wouldn't have used it anyway. And I come all beat up. Mind you, oh, wait, before we even get to the lunchtime, oh, child, oh, gosh, hold on. Okay. Let me rewind, because I'm trying to speed through, but let me back up some. I'm at the station right before we all break to go to lunch. Now, mind you, I got that bag, that brown paper bag with that big ass apple in there, and that's it. Okay? I'm just not attached to any one group, right? Somehow, once again, I get lost. I think I went to the wrong group. I'm thinking my group went one way because there was like a fork in the road. It was so dramatic. There was like a fork in the trail, and I couldn't tell which way my people went. So I decide that I'm just going to just chance it. I'm going to chance it, and I'm going to go left. Well, come to find out that was the wrong way. My people went right. So, of course, the chaperone is like, little girl, where are you supposed to be? And I'm like, I don't know. And at this point, I'm almost at my wit's end because I'm cut up. My feet hurt because I got these jelly slides on, these little jelly sandals, and my feet are just sliding in them. You know, so my toes is all jacked. Bro, I'm messed up. Okay, I am messed up. And I'm on the verge of crying. And these chaperones / teachers did not give a dang. They did not care, bro. Anyway, I digress. She was like, well, who are you with? And I think it was like purple or orange. So I said the color. And she was like, well, they're over there, sweetie. They're getting settled up and ready to eat lunch. Why don't you just follow the trail and then you'll meet up with them? Well, at this point, the trail was going the longest way possible. And I'm like, I don't have time for this. I don't want to go down the trail. I'm just going to cut through the really tall grass that's coming up to my chest. So that's what I did, y'all. So I'm trekking through the super tall grass, and then I feel a pinch on my Mickey Fleeky shoulder. I turn and look, and it is a big ass locust. About this big. The head alone was like this big, and it had pinched itself on my shoulder, on my skin, on my body, on my skin. And when I see it now, mind you, I'm already at the breaking point. I've already done way too much. I've already not followed instructions. I came unprepared. I done got lost so many times that I just can't get lost no more. I already ate my food because I didn't listen to my mommy before, so I'm starving, I'm emotional, and I'm messed up. And this big ass locust just on my shoulder, staring at me. And that's why I'm saying they are audacious. This is an audacious species. Staring at me. I think that was the straw. I just flipped. I'm screaming and trying to hit it, but it was digging into my skin. So every time I tried to flick at it, it didn't go nowhere. So now all that through the grass, I'm like, F that, I'm out of here. So I'm running and screaming and trying to hit it off of me. And mind you, I'm still a new girl. They don't really know me like that. So all you see in the distance is two puffballs just in the grass, screaming, arms flailing. By the time I made it to the lunch tables, it jumped off. So I clear the grass and everyone's staring at me like, I knew she was weird. She's weird. I am toe down, cut up from head to toe. I done got blisters on me. I'm bleeding. I mean, literally, lips, cheeks, knees, elbows, everything is cut up. When I say emotional, hair, my little pigtails was lopsided because why? I done got caught in the bushes. I stank because I done stepped in somebody's dung, you know, and I look crazy and I'm starving and all I have is a big ass apple in a brown bag. Y'all, I was going through it. So the teachers finally were like, oh my God, what happened to you? And I'm looking side-eye. What do they say? Bombastic side-eye. Because you are funny. Y'all been seeing me struggle all day, but instead of like taking the time to check on me, they just shoot me on to the next thing. So they were like, oh my God, where's your, first aid kit? So by the time I made it home, I got Band-Aids everywhere. Band-Aid. They didn't use all the Band-Aids in the box on me. So, of course, my mama, fun fact, my mom is from the country. So, every so often, that country slip out. So, she like, what happened? And I think at the end of it all, I I just let it all out. She waited for me to like clear my eyes and everything, because you know I'm sitting there crying and crying and crying, and she was like, "No, baby, didn't I ask you what you needed for this field trip?" That moment I realized, like, yeah, you did. Why didn't you tell me you needed to? I'm like, I don't know. And in that moment I realized I'm hard-headed, I don't listen. And I just be doing what I'm doing. And that leads to me having all kinds of interesting experiences. My time is running low and I gotta go, y'all. But just know, set boundaries. You don't have to do everything that you think you need to do, okay? And if you have children, be kind, because they not listening, not for real. So, y'all ain't gotta go home, but y'all gotta get the beep, 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 beep out of here, okay? Put your shoes up, write your little name on everything, you're good to go. And I'm cutting it short because y'all, I got a couple more videos I need to record, and your girl has not been recording for previously aforementioned reasons. Thank y'all for catching this flight with me, and until next time. Also, if you do have kids, if you can, chaperone. I know we ain't all got it like that, but if you can, chaperone, because they do not care about your kids like that.